Welcome back to a brand new episode of NH Unscripted. Ooh, we're going to be coming in hot today. Hot, I tell you. I got my neighbor jacket on, my bell-bottom pants, and my platform shoes. Your job. Sit back in the waterbed, light the incense, maybe fire up a lava lamp or two, and enjoy what's about to come today. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on those transistor radios in Concord, 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. And if this old man can remember, towards the end of the show, I'll let you know what goes on out there. So, a couple of weeks ago, I was out at the Capitol Area Beekeepers Association monthly meeting. Scared the bejesus out of me. No doubt. I learned about more predators and ugly beasts that are out there that you'd ever want to know. But to clarify a few things, we have Jamie Jobin and Heather Monahan back in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Oh, that was a freaky
We didn't mean to scare you.
Oh, dude.
Let me tell you, bees are fun.
Yeah, okay, he has a perverse sense of humor there, I'll tell you that. It was a very enlightening night. It was, because I just thought it was going to be there, and everyone's going to be like, oh, I can't wait to open mine. But I'm hearing about green-legged things that might be flying in on shipping containers and taking over whole areas, and moving up from Georgia and North Carolina, what's going on. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I don't get this. I get to go. So can you tell people a little bit about why that night was necessary? What was really going on there?
We're looking at one another. Who wants to take this one?
So that was a Zoom call from some people.
Yeah. So it was a Zoom call with some folks who have developed a new miticide. And I think we've spoken before about the fact that bees have mites, varroa mites specifically, that are parasitic. And it's kind of along the same lines as you and I getting a tick bite, and it vectors diseases. So we have to monitor mites in our beehives, and when they get to a specific level, we have to treat our bees with different miticides. And the company that we invited to speak is called Greenlight Biosciences, and they've invented a new miticide. It's just come to the market. So they spoke to our club about how to use their new product called Naroa appropriately. And that's why we had that company come speak to us. And then we had Dave Preby, who's our New Hampshire state beekeeper, who you've spoken with.
We have. Scared me more.
Yeah. So he came to talk to the club about a new mite that is not yet in the U.S. And that's the one that could potentially come on a shipping container.
Yes,
It actually was detected by somebody on a boat on its way to New Jersey, and they had to stop the boat. So we want to not have that new mite come to the U.S. It is in other countries, and that one's even harder to spot. It's very small and moves very quickly.
It's a fraction of the size of the current varroa destructor mite.
Really?
A fraction.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe, too, because those suckers are small.
Yeah.
He passed around that little jar.
vial.
Yeah, the vial, yeah. Nasty. I don't even know how. So let's talk a little bit about this. Is this the season for people to be looking for those? Why did you have them on then, rather than maybe the fall?
People are, I should let Jamie do some of the talking.
Okay.
But people are just about ready to start looking at their beehives. It's spring. The weather's been cold, but now it's starting to warm up. And when it becomes about 60 degrees, consistently, people will start to open up their beehives and inspect. And they actually should be monitoring for mites every month.
Every month?
Yeah.
Every month.
That's a year-round job.
Yes. Well, we don't test in the winter.
Okay.
May to November-ish, October, November, yeah.
All the YouTube videos I watch, and I watch a lot of them because I kind of enjoy this business, the beet thing. Nobody ever talks about mites. They get their all little happy white suits on. They get those smokers, and they're going around as they do their thing. Nobody's talking about mites.
Nobody in the public.
Yeah.
It's the beekeeping the
see.
beekeeping group is the ones that are most concerned about this, and obviously the agencies across the state. So yes, we do test every month, and typically we go in our hives every 10 days, 7 to 10 days, and look around and monitor.
That often?
And
That's
observe.
once a week almost,
It is
right?
once a week, yes. Yes, and it's weather related. So if you have a really overcast day or raining day, you just walk away.
Why?
They-
Why?
because they get angry.
When it's raining?
They're fair weather bees, to be honest with you. They like
know
it
that.
sunny and warm and not windy,
kinda like
and
me.
they'll be your best friend. But
Well,
on
and
those
that's-
days that the weather is not well,
Yeah.
you shouldn't go in, and they'll tell you.
Well, and on a nice
Well,
day,
yeah.
there are fewer bees in the hive because that's the days when the foragers are out collecting nectar and pollen, and so you have fewer bees in the hive to contend with.
So is this I know you said it's kind of I don't know if it's a dark secret or it's like an insider kind of thing here, but it seems to me it's a vitally important part. Why wouldn't there be more chatter about this? And how is it a difficult thing to see? I don't know how big a mite is. I can only imagine, but
Well, they're smaller than the head of a common pin.
then how would you see that? Amongst all the pollen and the
Well,
bees
you typically can't just open up your hive and say, "Oh, look, there's a varroa mite. Oh, there's
Okay.
another one, and there's another one."
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible you could see them, but if you're looking at them, your threshold for your mite count is through the roof.
Right.
If you're seeing them.
Oh.
Okay. So in order to test your mites, there's a couple different methods to do that. One of them is called a sugar roll. And you take a half a cup of bees, you shake them from one of the frame, and you're looking for nurse bees, the bees that are for feeding the babies, and you shake them in like a little Tupperware container, and then you take your little scoop and you scoop up a half a cup of bees. and
Which
you
is
put
about
it-
300 bees.
300 bees, yep. And you dump it in your like mason jar, and you put powdered sugar in there, and you put the screen cover on, you screw it on,
Okay.
and you tumble your bees gently in the powdered sugar. And what happens is
they get angry.
they do vibrate. Their wings are now flapping because
Okay.
their temperature is coming up because you're tumbling them. It's making the mite and the bee very slippery, so the mite can't hang on to the bee, and the mite dislodges from the bee and falls within the powdered sugar. So after you shake your bees for like a minute or so, you take that mason jar and you tip it upside down and you shake the powdered sugar out in like a bowl of water, and the powdered sugar will dissolve and it will leave these little black specks in your water.
Fascinating.
And those are the varroa mites that you now need to count to make sure that you're within your threshold of
An
healthy.
acceptable level.
Yeah.
So there is such a thing as a
Yeah. And so it's like once you get above about 2%.
Yeah.
And so that's
2% of the number of bees you have. 2% of the bees.
right. And so you have 300. You've tested now a half a cup of bees, which
Yeah.
is 300.
300.
So if you're above 6 mites, you need to treat.
Your threshold's too high, so you need to treat. And that's where one of the miticides comes in, like we talked about at that meeting, Noroa. There's many other products out on the market also, but this one is a new one that's just hit. It's been in testing for more than 10 years. This has been vetted.
my God, 10 years?
This has been vetted across the globe, I think, many different
I think so,
countries.
yeah.
What took so
Extensively.
long? Is it America that's holding it out? Why would it take 10 years for them to get it to you folks? I mean,
Well, think about all the testing that they need to do. They need to also test the other pollinators because you don't want to affect them. Yeah, it's a very scientific
Yeah.
process. Beekeeping.
yes.
It's not just throwing bees in a box and say, "Hey, good luck. I'll see you."
no, that's what I
at
thought.
honey time.
I mean, I hate to be that ignorant. That's what I
No,
thought.
it's what
It's not.
most people think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. That's not an uncommon
What?
thought process.
Thanks. So how do these big commercial bee, what do you going to call them in the big bee business?
Yeah.
How do they handle
Commercial
that?
beekeepers, they take a different approach. They might test a smaller sample, or they may just treat prophylactically. So they would just put a miticide in.
Yeah, and just
and
let
just
it go.
go with
do
it,
its
yeah.
thing.
In all of them.
Yeah.
Because bees drift also.
Yeah.
They'll go from one hive to another. They get confused. They think it's home.
I've been down that road myself. You are listening to NH Unscripted. Yeah. We're coming to you from the Hollywood Square like digs of the David KXL Studios in Concord. I love sitting in that center square, baby. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. Concord, 101.9 FM. Those beautiful souls of Manchester, Jamie Jobin, Heather Monahan in the house from CABA, Capitol Area Beekeepers. Yeah, we're getting educated today. We'll be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. I know you're happy to be out of bed today. So am I. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on those transistor radios. I got a 16 transistor one. Poor kids only get the 8. 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls of Manchester. We're talking bees today. Because I love honey. I love honey. Love it, love it, love it. Jamie Jobin, Heather Monahan from the Capitol Area Beekeepers Association are in the house. You say you have another meeting coming up? When?
May 13th.
May 3rd. And Heather, you?
That'll be a fun, happy meeting, not a scary one about predators.
I think you're setting me up here. Why would that one be happy? What's going on
Because
there?
it's about pollinator gardening, about the plants that are best for the bees and bring the best nutrition. And we have a great speaker lined up. So
I think
she's
I
a
have
lot of fun.
Andrew, there is one called Future. What's it called? It's the longer one. It's like 6 minutes, I think. But do you see it there? There's one called Bees, one called Bear, and then there's a third one. Did I give you a third one?
So I don't have the times. I just
Okay.
have Bears and Bees,
Yeah.
Bees and Tech, and
Yeah.
upcoming CABA events.
Upcoming. Play upcoming for a second. Thank you.
Next month, we're going to have a fellow called Frederick Dunn. He's a master beekeeper and podcaster out of Pennsylvania. He'll be on Zoom.
So
Again, that's a meeting that you can jump in on.
why him? What's his specialty? What's he going to talk about?
He has a podcast every Monday about beekeeping and swarms and everything else. His topic that particular night in April is going to be swarms, swarm control, baiting for swarms,
That's good for now,
how to
Andrew.
catch
Thank you.
them, what you do with them.
There's a ton in there. Can you remind me who that was? I forgot his name. That Steve?
His name is Steve Ludwig, and he's a member of our club. He's been a member for many years.
Fascinating to talk to him. Fascinating to talk to him. I could not believe. And he ran that meeting so smoothly, too. He was right on top of everything there. So there's a few topics he unwound there for us, right? Could you address some of those? Maybe the swarm. What swarming's good, bad, ugly? What is that?
Swarming, to me, is a compliment to the beekeeper.
Oh, okay.
Because it indicates that your hive is, your colony is robust and healthy, and they are procreating. And they've decided that they have eliminated the space that they need in the hive.
Okay.
And they have outgrown the hive. And now half of them are going to take off. And they're going to take the queen with them.
They are.
They're going to take half of the hive is going to fly out. And it's interesting because I was sitting in my office one day and I looked out the window and it was a tornado of bees in the air. It's like a snowstorm, like a huge snowstorm, thousands
That
of
many?
bees. Yes. And by the time I ran outside, they were gone. It's that fast. So they're going to find another place. So typically what they'll do is they'll bivouac up in another tree somewhere.
Okay.
And they'll cluster around the queen.
All right.
And at that point, they have gorged themselves with food because they wanted to fill their bellies as much as they could because they're going to be out away from food for a while.
Okay.
So now they're going to send scouts out in all different directions to try and find a new location, the best place to be. Now,
incredible.
it could be your cooler on the deck.
Okay.
It could be your gas grill. It could be another tree. It could be somebody's eaves of the house. It could be a hollow in the tree. Or they could be down at my house out in the field and find my swarm lure that I have hanging in the tree
pray
to
tell.
attract them. And if I can have them bivouac on my lure, I can go out there and capture that swarm. And we call that, right, Heather? This is
Free
called
bees.
free bees.
Freebies.
Yep.
And then we will come back and bring them to our apiary and install them in a colony, a deep box, and we will start a new colony.
So what happened to that old one? Now the queen's gone. What
They
happens
raise
to-
a new queen.
They get a new queen.
They raise a new one.
Literally raise what
They will take an egg that the queen has recently laid within 3 days. It has to be within 3 days. It has to be a fresh egg.
Okay.
And they will start feeding it a special food called royal jelly.
Oh,
and
I've heard
they
of
will
that.
build a long peanut shell shaped cell around her because the queen is much longer.
Okay.
And they will encase her, and in 16 days she will emerge as a virgin queen, and then she will go out in a day or two. She will go out of the hive and she will fly off to be mated by the drones in the area, and the drones are all the male bees, and they go up to a special area in the sky called the drone congregation area, and she will mate with several drones.
Yep.
And every time the drone mates, he dies. So as soon as he mates, he falls
Dang.
to the ground.
Dang.
And then she comes home, and hopefully she is not hit by a truck.
Or eaten by a bird or a
anything.
dragonfly.
And if she makes it back and gets back in the hive, she will begin laying very soon. And now that queen is putting out all this pheromone
Yeah.
in that hive.
Yeah, yeah.
And they now know that she is the queen and they are queen right. And now the colony will start to survive and grow.
This is incredible.
And the beekeeper needs to monitor what's going on, because if you figure out that your hive is not queen right, meaning you see no eggs, no larvae, nothing, you have to go and get a new queen very quickly.
At the queen store. Where do you think?
I was going to say, where are you going to get that?
Yeah. Well, you can mail order a queen, or like you could mail order a bride.
Come on, they'll mail order you a bee, a
Oh,
queen
yes.
bee.
Yeah.
And it survives that transportation?
Yeah.
There's beekeeping supply stores that are local around our area. There's a number of them. Number of quality beekeeper supply
You want
stores.
to name a
And,
couple? Do you know them offhand?
yeah, there's
Give 'em some,
McCormick's Beekeeping Farm.
Jeff's? That's Jeff?
Jeff, yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and that's in Gilmington.
Yeah.
And Heather, you know.
Yep.
There's,
We have Jim Watt
yeah.
right here in Concord Bee Company.
We have a bee company in Concord?
Yeah.
Yes, and there's one in Hooksett too called Busy Bees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where in Concord is the one that you just mentioned?
Julie Drive.
No idea where that is.
I don't either.
All right. Wow. Okay. Okay, so that's swarming. Swarming. For some reason, I thought swarming was bad.
Well, sometimes you want to prevent it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you don't want half of your bees to go.
Yeah, I can see that, I guess.
Because then the colony is starting over, and they're small. Mm-hmm. You'll have two small colonies, and you may not get any honey from either one of them because they're starting over. You may not catch the swarm. Mm-hmm. So you may just lose that half of your bees.
So, man, this is deeper than I ever thought. So they're not only going to be looking out for mites. They got to be looking for the queen. They got to be. What else is that inside those boxes that they got to watch out?
Yes, you do have to monitor
Apparently so.
your volume of bees and how
Yeah, and the
full your
space.
hive is. And you're watching for all those cues. And you learn this as you go from one year to another. And when you detect that, look, this hive is so robust, they're going to start getting ready to swarm. And they'll give you indications. They'll start making swarm cells at the bottom of the frames inside the hive. That's your first one of your first indications that you've got to jump on this now before they close those cells. So what you can do is you can do a split. You can open up your hive and take out some resources. You take out frames of egg, larvae, and brood, which are baby bees that are capped, and you move those over into a new box, and you bring some honey and some pollen over also, usually about 3, maybe 4 frames of resources.
Okay.
And you have now done a split. Now you set that aside, and now you're trying to start a new colony. And they will.
So you're trying to do manually what they were going to do
Correct.
naturally.
Correct.
You're just going to be
doing is
proactive about
You're
it.
splitting the hive.
Got ya.
So now that the bees in that first colony have more room, so they're not claustrophobic and they have room to continue growing. So they're less apt to swarm on you.
So how often would this happen? I mean, every year? Are we?
Yeah.
So a beekeeper really has to watch out for this every year?
Yeah, in what we call an overwintered colony. So the colonies that survive the winter,
Yep.
They can typically grow very quickly in the spring, and so we consider swarm season May, June, potentially early July.
You do?
Yeah.
So we're in it almost.
We're in it.
We're in it.
Yeah. I've got one that overwintered and it's busting at the seams, so I need to do a
You can
split.
tell you've already opened it up. Is that what
I
you're telling me?
have,
So
yes.
talk a little bit about that process then. So the good weather comes and you're like, Yahoo! I can get outside and check my boxes, and you run out to your yard and what do you do? What?
You start breaking down your hive and looking in there and finding those resources
Yeah.
and moving them over so that you can allow them to take one of those viable eggs, and now they will start making their own queen. Now, I could just go to the store and buy queen and jumpstart the whole thing.
Yeah, like all of us. Hang on. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I know you feel lucky. Yeah. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on those Sony Walkmans, baby. 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls of Manchester. Jamie Job and Heather Monahan from the Capitol Area Beekeepers Association. Time flies. We'll be right back. Got a lot more questions. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. I know you're smiling because we all are here. We're talking bees, honey, and then mites and things that make you not smile. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on the Sony Walkmans. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Bees. Can you give us a URL for the CABA group? real
Yep,
quickly?
it's capitalareabeekeepers.org.
And do you guys have a newsletter that goes out?
We have a
Can
newsletter
people
that
sign
goes out to our members. Yep,
To the members?
to the members.
The members only, yes.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it's not expensive because I became a member and I don't have a lot of money. I'm a retired guy.
$35 for the household.
Yeah, that's...
For the whole year.
Dude, you can
And
find-
we have speakers every
go
month.
pick up cans
So you
around
come
the
every
road.
month to the meeting. We have
Yeah.
a speaker. You learn something.
scared to death.
We take a little break. We have a little snack.
You did. I had some of that down myself.
and we hang around and we talk bees all night. And it's fun. We love each other. It's just a really fun group.
I was shocked, and I shouldn't have been because I know it's people, this is their hobbies. They do this in businesses. I was shocked at the depth of knowledge that night. You people asking questions like, who in the world thought of that question? But they're brilliant people, and they do love what they do. That night, how would you say that representation was? Was that like? Do you have a handle for how many people are actually doing bees out there in New Hampshire?
There was 35 people at that meeting.
Yeah.
which is good for us.
Yeah.
And it was predominantly populated with new beekeepers that have just completed our beekeeping school that we operate every February.
okay.
And it's usually over a 2-weekend event, usually 2 Saturdays. Mm-hmm. And it's intensive. We try and throw as much as we possibly can at the beekeepers. There's a beekeeping manual, a book that we include in that fee to go to bee school. So the meeting was populated with new beekeepers. Some of your seasoned beekeepers that have been doing it, 8, 10, 12 years, attend also because there's always something new to learn.
That's
There's
an
always something new
understatement,
coming
my
out,
friend.
like
Holy
that
Toledo.
Naroa miticide.
Yeah. Was her name Julia? I had Julia in here. Yeah. Well, man, that girl.
She's
wow.
excellent.
Yeah, no kidding.
Super smart.
Oh, yeah, another one right there.
Yeah.
And she was right in there asking questions as well.
Yeah.
I forget how many Jesus, you had 3 hives? Did you have more than that? No. But
Yeah, I'm not sure.
man, she was really concerned, and she had legitimate questions, not like, how do you open it, that kind of thing. It was pretty smart. Andrew, do you have the clip there with I think it says bees and bear? Do I have bear, not beer? Just make that distinction.
Bees and beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is Al done?
And I understand you're a first-year beekeeper?
So last year was a struggle. I lost my first box of bees. I got a nuke.
You could try it.
The bear, I was lucky to get the nuke, but I've had a bear come in and take the hive down 3 times. I now have an electric fence around it, but I'm very concerned with whether they made it through the winter.
Yeah, have you been able to check on them at all? I know nothing about beekeeping, so
That'll be tomorrow morning, not
Still the truth.
tomorrow afternoon.
yeah. So it looks undisturbed. Is that what you're saying at this point?
I haven't seen much activity. There's been an awful lot of snow out there.
Oh, no kidding, right?
I didn't
So
know. That's
how,
fine.
this
Thank
is your
you, my
first
friend. Thank
time having bees or first
Well-
year having bees?
I can't
I
recognize
actually
his voice.
bought them for my wife for
Okay.
Christmas last year. I put it up. I ended up being the keeper.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm the one that's
Yeah,
out there trying.
Andrew, you
I
can
have
kill
that
that,
same
buddy. You
issue
can
with
just
mine
shut.
out.
Al something was his name. He was one of those first-year beekeepers
Yeah.
you were talking about. Bears.
Oh, Al. Yeah,
Can
I
we
recognize
talk a
his
little
voice
about
now.
Bears. Is that
Bears. Yeah.
When can they be a problem, and how would people work with that?
Well, bears become
Yeah.
a problem when they come out of hibernation.
Okay.
So about now, we tell everybody take down your bird feeders. Don't have a bird feeder. That does not go well with bees.
Mm-hmm.
And put up an electric fence. I think he said he did not have an electric fence.
Right at first. Right.
So when as Jamie was talking about bee school, we have a section on putting up an electric fence. We usually have somebody from Fish and Game come in and talk to the club about installing an electric fence. Yeah, that's usually one of our topics, like in January or February, before the bears come out of hibernation.
Are they effective for a bear? I don't know how powerful they are. Are they?
If you have the right charger.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, the minimum for a bear that I was recently told by Fish and Game, because we had an issue at our club that's being addressed, and he informed us that it needs to be 0.25 joules of power. It's out of my pay grade.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I just
yeah.
read the label.
Andrew, you have any? Is that powerful, brother? I don't know. 0.25 joules.
It's specifically targeted for a bear.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing then I don't want to bump into it.
Now remember, they
Yeah.
have a lot of fur, so they
Yeah.
could bump into the fence and not feel much. So we typically will hang a piece of aluminum on the fence
Yeah.
and
With
put just
peanut
a
butter.
tiny little smear of peanut butter on there, because you want the bear to touch it with his nose or his tongue,
Yeah.
and that will give him that quick little sap, and they run away.
This is fascinating. Are they a big problem? Do you have people every year? I mean,
Oh yeah.
you do.
Oh yeah, we have one club member who he had hives, and every single year a mama bear and her cubs would come into his apiary and take his hives down, and he went without hives for about 2 years, and the minute he put hives back in his apiary after not having hives for 2 years, she came back and took that hive down, and he moved his hives to our club apiary.
So where is your apiary? Where's the club apiary?
Ours is at the governor's mansion off of exit 16 on Mountain Road. It's 21 Mountain Road. It's the
Got
Bridges
The
house.
Bridges house.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Are there many? Have you got many hives down there that you know?
We currently have 4 that
Got you.
that we have overwintered.
You have.
And we're going to install a new one this weekend to teach our B school students how to do it.
Oh, so what does that include then? So they're going to come out. What are they going to see when they do that?
We're going to go
Like
pick
a
up
swarm kind of thing?
we're going to go pick up a 3-pound package of bees. So that comes in a small cage.
We're going to go pick it up.
Pick it up. We're going to pick up a package of
Okay,
bees at
okay.
McCormick's Bee Farm.
All right.
And that's, like I said, 3 pounds of bees, which is about 10,000 bees. It has an aluminum can of syrup in there that they've been feeding on during their transportation, and it has a queen in a cage. And you take it apart and you dump those bees, and you hang the queen on a frame, and there's a little piece of candy in that cage where the queen is, and there's a cork there. You take the cork out, and the bees will eat through that candy and release the queen as they get used to her scent. And
Heather, this is
it's fascinating, right?
It is fascinating.
I know.
I can't. I'm hanging.
I'm
in
getting
words.
chills just like talking
I'm
about it.
picturing in my head what's going on
I know.
here.
And it's really interesting. And like Heather said, we're going to be installing one of those packages this weekend. So I've invited our new beekeepers to come. And I've already had several responses of I will be there. And it's my intention to pick a new beekeeper that has been through our bee school, that has seen the process and has heard about it and has started to learn about it, and put them in front of that hive and open that package of bees up and shake the bees in there. They're going to be hands-on.
Okay, there's something about the term shaking the bees.
Oh, this
that
is even
just-
better. Wait.
I hear
Before you
shake them in the jar. Shake them in the...
Before you shake them into the hive, you thump and dump.
Huh.
You bang it on the ground so that they fall to
Seriously?
the bottom, and then you dump them in and shake them in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had
Thump
this
and
thing
dump.
you'd be like
Yes.
dying. How are they not agitated and ticked off?
Well, they
and-
do not have any resources to protect. They're not in alarm mode.
Oh, that's interesting.
They're not
too, then.
defensive. They shouldn't be defensive. And now you can you agitate them
Sure.
and get stung? Of course you can.
So when
Sure.
you get you put them in the mason jar with powdered sugar, they don't. You're shaking them in a jar. They're not. Come on, you're like no, Ray. No, they're snoozing.
Well,
you.
now
They're all-
when you dump them back in the hive
Yeah.
with that powdered sugar on them,
Yeah.
all the other bees rush to them and start cleaning them off.
This is crazy.
It's one giant organism, and they
is
all work
crazy.
together. It's like an army.
Yeah,
like when
yeah,
the
yeah.
army goes to do something, they're all in it now.
Hmm.
It's the same thing in a colony. They're all in it. They're all doing their job. Now every bee has a different job.
Yeah.
The foragers, that's their job. They go. The
Mm-hmm.
queen, her job, lay eggs. That's all she does. But they all do it together. There's no discussion. There's no setting a bee aside and say, hey, you're slacking a little bit.
Yeah.
There's none of that. It's just they all go and do their job.
I just can't believe they're not like more angry if you're around them and doing things.
Oh, you can make them angry.
Oh,
You
bet
can.
you can. I'll bet you
It's moving slowly and gently and calmly.
can. Many things I've not been known for. You are listening to NH Unscripted. Yeah, getting educated today. I didn't know you'd happen, would you? 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Talking bees, in case you didn't realize it. We'll be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. We're coming to you from the YMCA Lag Digs of WKXL Studios in Concord. Smell the pool chlorine all the way over here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. Concord. 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls of Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Heck of a lot going on out there. Heck of a lot. Come on, you get up 2 or 3 in the morning. Need a friend, got to find something to do, NHTalkRadio.com. You'll be out there for hours. Black holes, rabbit holes, they're all out there, baby. This show comes to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Monday mornings, we kind of take a little curve. We take you back to the 60s, playing what we call our Wayback Machine Monday. 60s music. Hey, try to theme them once in a while. Bring back some memories for some folks. Great new ones for others. Meanwhile, we're talking about beekeeping, baby. Okay. I bought a jar of honey from someone the other day. It was very liquid, very thin. Is that common? I was like almost disappointed because I thought the honey should be like thicker, and I looked and it said it was raw and unprocessed, but it was pretty runny.
It depends.
Okay,
So
it's just us here, Heather. You can
yeah. So
throw anybody under the bus you want.
no,
right?
I won't.
I know.
But so honey is going to be very dependent on where it comes from,
Okay.
right? The flowers that the bees are visiting.
Yep.
And it should have been dehydrated by the bees to less than 18% water.
Okay.
So otherwise it has the potential to ferment, which is not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
At that point, it becomes mead.
Okay.
Right? Well, actually,
That's not bad. That's
not bad.
Good thing.
There's a few more steps to make it
Okay,
mead,
all right.
but fermented honey is not good. So there's a couple of questions, right? Like,
Yeah.
is it the right percentage of water?
Okay.
Has it been dehydrated appropriately? And what kind of honey is it? Like, if it's from linden trees, basswood, it could very well be very thin and liquidy.
Okay.
And if it's very light in color, it could very well be, linden honey.
Okay.
But it just kind of depends on where it's from and what the flowers were.
Okay. Just said wildflowers on it, but that could be a catch-all for anything for a long.
Oh yeah, that's what most of
plants
us.
they visited.
Yeah. How is the organization right now? Are you folks growing? Are you kind of like trying to really get what's happening?
It's really
there?
exciting, actually.
Yeah.
It's a very
Yeah.
exciting time for the club. We are growing a lot, and our meetings are getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Pretty
and
packed out that one night. I mean, it
Yeah.
was pretty crowded there.
Yeah. We've just moved to that new facility that you visited, and we previously were at the IBEW over on Airport Road, which
Yeah.
was humongous and cavernous and kind of cold and impersonal. And so we're in a nice space now, and we have new members, and we've been having great speakers, and so it's exciting.
Yes.
It is exciting.
So how's the beekeeping business in New Hampshire in general, would you say at this point? Is it fine? Could use more? On its way down? Or what's happening with that?
There's always room for new members
Love to
at
hear it.
Capitol Area Beekeepers.
Love to hear
We
that.
welcome everybody. And we talked about, the fee to become a member for the year.
Yeah,
And it's
cheap,
inexpensive.
cheap.
And it's about camaraderie also. We're all
Yeah,
there for
I
the same
noticed that.
reason.
Yeah.
And
Very
and
friendly
we're
people.
passionate about what we do, and we're always looking to share new ideas
Yeah.
and grow our base.
Yeah.
How many would you say? Do you have an idea of how many are signed up right now to be members of your?
We have about, I think it's like 120 or 130.
About 125
Yeah.
members so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's small. There's plenty of room to grow.
Oh,
then.
sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, so how is the beekeeping business in New Hampshire? Is it vibrant, or is it kind of like where is it in the scheme of honey producing every year? Is it good? Is it like? I have no idea how to quantify it. How would you quantify the?
Well, I mean, in terms of like commercial
yeah,
or
yes, that's what I'm usually thinking. But yeah,
no, I mean we're not a very big state, right?
Yeah.
And we're in the north. We have a very short honey season.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But so we are not going to be like one of the great honey producing states. You think about, the southern states, those are the beekeepers that have huge commercial operations, and they're moving their bees all around the country. In fact, Jamie and I next week are going down to Kentucky. There's one of the commercial beekeepers. He actually doesn't consider himself a commercial beekeeper, but he has 1,600 hives. So that's
And he does not consider
No.
himself. Come on.
and he trucks his bees all over the country. I was talking to him last week and telling him we were coming down. He offers a free bee school, and Jamie and I are going to go attend that for 3 days. And I told him we were coming, and he's like, "Oh, that's great. We just got our bees back from the almond crops in California, and now I'm going to go put them in the canola fields." And he moves them all over the country.
Wow.
But he's actually a smaller operation. We have commercial beekeepers. There's actually one in Billerica, Mass, that has 30,000 hives. And they move them-
Billerica, Massachusetts.
Yeah. And they move them to Florida for the winter, and then they move them all around. They go to orange groves, then they go someplace out in Mississippi, and they do whatever. Somewhere in the middle of the country, I think it might be Michigan, is cranberries and blueberries. And so they go and pollinate there.
Man, I'd love some of that honey.
So next time you see almonds in the store,
Man.
now you know that your honeybees have pollinated those trees,
Yeah,
and that is
yeah.
the fruit of the bees' labor.
The place in Billerica has all kinds of monofloral honeys.
They do.
They do. And you can go buy individual
has to-
jars. And
Is that a difficult? I mean to pause you. I hate to do that, but is it difficult to stay mono? I can't imagine trying to be mono.
well,
a
it's
flower.
really hard for us because we don't have
We don't
big
have
crops.
We don't
Yeah.
have 1,200 acres of one crop.
Right.
I see how they do that. Okay.
So
okay.
when you go and put your bees in an orange grove, you can produce orange flower honey.
So excited.
Yeah.
That's a good. So here in New Hampshire, how many different varieties, I guess, would you say So do you have like a wildflower? But then what would be the next popular one from New Hampshire? Be like, oh, you New Hampshire, grab me a bottle of that, whatever. Do we have a specific kind
Predominantly
of?
in New Hampshire, I would say it would be wildflower, but
It's all-
you
yeah.
could get some clover.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a very large field.
Yeah.
And the way they determine that is they do scientific testing, and they measure all the different types of pollen and nectar that has been collected by the bees in that honey, and that's how they determine.
crazy,
They can measure it, sure.
That's insane.
But for us, it's easier around here because we have just wildflower.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the bees are going everywhere.
Okay.
The bees will forage within about a 3-mile radius
All right.
of their hive.
Yep.
So you have to think about where you're putting those bees and what kind of crops or flowers are around them.
And so since New Hampshire, we really don't have a lot of mono stuff, right? It's man, it's too bad.
typically.
That's too bad. It's funny because I like some of the darker ones, the fall.
The fall.
Yeah, honeys. Oh my gosh, they're good.
So the place in Billerica, I bought the Japanese knotweed.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's so dark it looks like molasses.
I was gonna buy some online.
And I think it tastes a little chocolatey. Like it has
Yeah?
kind of
Yes.
a little bit of a chocolatey flavor. It's
Yeah?
really good.
Wow. Wow. Do you know the name of that place? I want to look
I
them
have to
up.
look it up.
I'll Google it later or have my AI do it sometime. So the association now, you've got about 125 people, you think?
Thereabouts.
Are you campaigning to get more people? Or are you just happy that we're 125?
In the springtime, we do a community outreach. It's in February.
Is that with the Black Forest?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Tell us about that.
We did an outreach at the Black Forest Nursery a year ago. We've been to Agway in Concord.
Yeah?
And we've been to Tractor Supply,
Yeah?
and they
Oh.
host us for a Saturday afternoon, and we stand in their facility with our big display, and we talk to people coming through and talk to them about beekeeping,
Yeah,
and we have met some really, wonderful people that way who have become wonderful beekeepers.
And this Saturday, actually, we're going to participate at Wild New Hampshire Days, which is at the New Hampshire Fishing Game on Hazen Drive.
Okay.
And that's just a kind of an outdoor. People come and do presentation. Like they
Literally
set up-
outdoors? They're outdoors?
Yeah,
Okay.
outdoors.
You can do
On
tie
Hazen Drive?
flying, and there's going to be hunting dogs and archery, and there's all sorts of things
just
for
to
the
introduce
kids to do.
people, introduce people to outdoor activities, and it's at the New Hampshire Fishing Game on Hazen Drive, and it's a free event. Food trucks, 10 to 3.
I'm in. Food trucks. I'm there. Done. Can you guys give me your URL one more time, please?
CapitolAreaBeekeepers.org.
Rolls off the tongue, baby. NH Unscripted is what you've been listening to. I know. Now you're going to run around the block telling everybody what you heard. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM for those beautiful souls in Concord, 101.9 FM for the beautiful, beautiful souls of Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL as we are coming to you from a gong show like digs at the WKXL studios in Concord. No, I'm not the unknown comedian. It's all about bees, baby. We'll get Jamie and Heather back in a little while. We'll see you next time.